This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. It's a property many people in the city are familiar with, and if the owner has his say, could become even more well-known. It's famous in Charleswood for its popular miniature railway and a massive Christmas light display. Now the owner is pushing for the Roblin Boulevard property to be transformed into a multi-use space that could include a new spa. But not everyone is on board. CBC's Cameron McLean has more.
For years, this Charleswood property served as the home for the Assiniboine Valley Railway, famous for its yearly Christmas lights display. Earlier this summer, crews began clearing hundreds of trees and demolished 2 houses, a move the owner says was necessary due to repeat break-ins and vandalism. Now, Paul Taylor, the son of the railway's creator Bill Taylor, says he has big plans for what comes next.
A mix of light commercial, we've got a spa concept that we think would be really cool that ties into the Assiniboine Park, and then a more, I want to say it's more modest multifamily building.
Taylor says the development would roll out in phases. Small businesses along Roblin Boulevard, a 3-story 82-unit apartment building behind them, and eventually a Nordic-style spa. He also pledged to replant about 150 trees. When tree clearing began this summer, Taylor told CBC News he had no immediate plans to redevelop the property. He said the home where he grew up had become a magnet for squatters and thieves, and the clearing was needed for safety.
The decision to clear everything out and get rid of those buildings was a liability issue, and so I think that it needed to be addressed independently. But once that work is done, it makes sense to engage the community about ideas that we have.
Area Councillor Evan Duncan says Taylor's plan would face challenges around sewer capacity, zoning, and more.
I'm not sure that some of these significant barriers can be overcome in this instance, not to mention the outrage that my office has received from local area residents that feel a certain level of distrust from this property owner.
Neighbor Larry Stefanik says consultation came too late, after the clear cutting was done.
Consultation should have happened prior to any destruction. When you build a 3-story apartment building and commercial space in an area with homes, it really is a huge impact.
Taylor says he's taking in feedback and his team plans to refine their design before applying to the city. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
He admitted to killing 2 women in Winnipeg and has been behind bars since 2013. But now Shawn Lamb is being released. Lamb pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter for killing Carolyn Sinclair and Lorna Blacksmith. Charges in the death of a 3rd woman were stayed. Lamb was sentenced to 20 years in prison minus time served. Now he's getting out after serving 2/3 of his sentence. The head of the National Family and Survivor Circle says she's thinking of the victims' families.
I really, think of them and the trauma that they're reliving and, re-experiencing everything that they have been through, through the trial, through the process of grieving their loved one and just to have to relive it again, is very, very painful.
Lamb's release comes with stipulations after the parole board found him still a risk. He must live in a halfway house for at least 6 months, report all relationships to his parole supervisor, and is barred from consuming drugs and alcohol. More affordable housing is on the horizon in Winnipeg. The federal government is accepting development offers to build hundreds of homes on the Naawi-Oodena property near Kenaston Boulevard. It's part of the Fed's initiative to build thousands of affordable units right across the country. And as CBC's Mike Arson explains, officials call it one of the largest infill projects in Winnipeg's history.
It's an empty field now, but picture it with 320 new places for people to live. This is Naawi-Oodena, the site of the former Capion Barracks here in Winnipeg. These new homes will be part of the federal government's Build Canada Homes initiative.
Politicians from all levels of government call it a turning point.
It's being led through a partnership between Canada Lands Company and the Treaty 1 First Nations, and is set to become the largest multi-use development in modern Winnipeg history.
MP Doug Elifson says Canada Lands owns a third of Naawi-Oodena. The rest is owned by a group of 7 First Nations in Treaty 1 territory. The 320 units are being built on the federal government's portion of the land.
Homes built through this initiative will use modern methods of construction, such as modern and modular and prefabricated techniques.
Winnipeg is one of 6 Canadian cities the federal government chose for the Build Canada Homes project. Now they are accepting offers from developers. It's to increase the city's housing stock, to make homes more affordable, and reduce homelessness. Provincial Housing Minister Bernadette Smith says it will help remove barriers to housing.
The Naawi-Oodena development alongside investments like Build Canada Homes will help strengthen our city, revitalize this historic area, and set a new standard of how governments and First Nations can work together to create homes, hope, and opportunity.
Mayor Scott Gillingham says Winnipeg's population is growing faster than it has in decades, and the city needs more affordable housing.
We've added about 80,000 new residents to Winnipeg in the last 4 years alone. That's good news, but it means that we have to make sure the supply of housing keeps up with the demand.
Construction is already underway on the other 2/3 of Naawi-Oodena, which is owned by Treaty 1 First Nations. That portion is being transformed into commercial and residential spaces in what will be one of the largest urban reserves in Canada. Mike Arson, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Winnipeg-based company is moving some of its newly acquired operations from the United States to here in Winnipeg. Duha Color Services makes color sampling tools such as paint swatches. It recently acquired a competitor and plans to move equipment and operations from the facility in Indiana to Winnipeg. Officials say it will create nearly 100 new jobs in Manitoba. 2 levels of government are contributing nearly $160,000 to help with those plans.
This investment allows us to bring state-of-the-art equipment and additional manufacturing operations to Winnipeg as part of our recent acquisition. But more importantly, it allows us to hire and train more Manitobans in support of our growth while upskilling our existing team.
The company says Manitoba's business environment and affordable costs convinced them to expand in Winnipeg. Mounties are investigating 2 suspicious incidents that took place just weeks apart at the same building in Morris. In early October, RCMP were alerted to a rural business around 3 a.m. where a front-end loader had been driven through the front door. Police smelled a strong odor of gas and found jerry cans filled with diesel on a stack of pallets on the loader. They believe someone tried to set it on fire. Now, just a few days ago, around 2 a.m., there were more wood pallets found. This time, they were on fire. Police say it was arson, and this time, damage to the building was extensive. Winnipeg transit officers are cracking down on fare evaders and say they've stopped thousands of people from riding the bus for free. The city says safety officers have spent hours enforcing payments on buses. It says nearly 5,000 people have been denied rides after failing to pay. Since September, more than 2,600 people chose instead to walk away from a bus before even being prompted for payment. Officers issued more than 900 warnings, while more than 350 people paid when asked. The city expanded its enforcement this fall and estimates it's losing $7 to $10 million a year through fare evasion. 3 young hunters are facing criminal charges after a man was shot in the RM of Victoria. RCMP responded from Treeherne just before 11 a.m. yesterday after a 66-year-old was hit with a bullet in his arm while he was outside his house. He was taken to hospital and later released. Police say he was hit by a stray round fired by a group of teens, 2 boys and 1 girl, who are 14, 16, and 17. Officers approached the trio in a nearby field and arrested them for careless use of a firearm, discharging one while being reckless, and assault with a weapon. Time now to bring Riley in. And Riley, that is a beautiful shot behind you. You're just kind of radiating this aura.
Yeah, the sky certainly radiating last night as well, Brittany. We're expecting another show similar to this as we get through the night. I'm going to step out of the way and just let you take in some of these pictures. Of course, my inbox flooded with some of these pictures through the night last night into the day today of the Aurora borealis, triggered by a powerful solar storm and some of those particles as they make their way toward Earth, interacting with the atmosphere and presenting what you see here, some of those greens, those pinks, those reds. Thank you, everybody, for sending these pictures. And I've got a couple more to show you here, one from Headingley and one that was taken out at the Glendale Golf Course. And I took this one here out at the Arm of Rosser, just outside the city. To get the best show, you have to get away from the city lights, but you can still catch a glimpse of it in the city. Now, I was talking about the KP index last night, the index in which we measure the solar storm activity. Tonight, looking at that at a moderate, at around a 6 as we get through into the overnight hours tonight. Not as strong as last night, but certainly looking at good viewing across parts of Western Canada where we have a bit more of a clear sky, which is really the majority of southern Manitoba through Saskatchewan. Even parts of the north, I think, Brittany, have a fairly good chance of seeing the aurora once again tonight. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, the 112th Grey Cup is upon us, which means so is the festival taking over Winnipeg. We'll take you to those grounds for everything you need to know next. Grey Cup week is here, and if you didn't snag tickets to the big game before it's sold out, well, don't worry. There's still lots of ways to celebrate the biggest week in Canadian football. There's concerts, an outdoor social, team party rooms, and in downtown Winnipeg, a street festival. That's where our Ian Fraze is tonight. He's at the University of Winnipeg's Axworthy Health and Recplex. Now, the street festival starts tomorrow, but people have been hard at work all week getting everything ready. So, Ian, what can fans expect?
A whole lot of fun, Brittany, whether you still have dreams of football stardom or perhaps you want to soak in all the atmosphere. Now, outside this building along Spence Street, there'll be the street festival, musical performances, food vendors, and some little games to play. But inside, think of it as a mini CFL combine, a chance to show off your skills, no matter if no matter how many skills you have or your age. We'll give you a little tour now of what you can expect. Behind me, the tunnel. You can run out onto the stadium pretending like you're a Winnipeg Blue Bomber. Over here, a throwing station, a chance to practice your throws from 50 yards out. Who knows, maybe another Zach Claris is in our midst. Over there, a tackling station, so you get to practice your tackles as if you're going after the quarterback. Over here, a replica locker room, and as you may notice, a little guest in there, the Grey Cup, what everyone is fighting for on Sunday. And over there, a chance to practice your vertical jumping skills. Now, for a little more on what to expect during the Grey Cup Festival, I'll bring in Wade Miller, President and CEO of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Wade, thanks for joining us.
Oh, happy to be here. What an amazing event already.
Absolutely. Now, you are the president of the Blue Bombers. Yes. You used to play in the CFL. Yes. For those of us who maybe don't have the same football pedigree, maybe we don't know the ins and outs of the game, sure, can we still have fun here?
Yeah, absolutely. So you come down to the TELUS CFL fan experience on the campus of the University of Winnipeg. You can learn how to kick. You talked about the quarterback accuracy. Do a tackling station. You can learn how to defend the passes. You can learn how to catch. And it's free, more importantly. And to come down, it's for all ages. And there's a great Canada Life family zone for younger kids. And there's something here for everybody.
Yeah, you just mentioned that free piece. The Grey Cup, of course, is sold out. But, for some of us, money's a little tight. Will we have to dig deep into the pockets in order to enjoy ourselves?
No, absolutely. So the TELUS CFL fan experience, the Canada Life family zone here at the U of W, all free. Thursday night, Friday night, all day Saturday. The Naawi-Oodena Street Festival as well is an opportunity to come out and enjoy. Friday night here on the campus, we'll have fireworks at 7:30. Everybody's welcome to come down to that. And then the Santa Claus Grey Cup Parade this year on Saturday. So all activities that you can come be a part of. And then for the 18-plus crowd, TDS Outdoor Social, which is down at the Convention Center, again, is another free activity.
A little bit for everyone. Now, you did mention parties, and Manitobans are known for that. As much as, we know our football and love our football, for that party crowd, we also know socials very well. Yes. How are we welcoming the rest of Canada into our tradition?
Well, so we're throwing Canada's biggest social. That's the whole 2025 Grey Cup Festival. When visitors from out of town arrive at not the stadium, when they arrive at the airport, we're going to greet them with a social. We got an arrival social when they arrive. Got a little charcuterie board, which is like what you would get at the socials, and then all the information about the great Grey Cup week that's coming up. So that's when you arrive, and then throughout the weekend, the Molson concert series and team party rooms, which is sold out. Going to be a great place at the Play Now HQ headquarters at the Convention Center. So, and still the opportunity to come to Brad Paisley and purchase some tickets for that at the Canada Life Center on Friday night.
A little bit for everyone. Now, the Grey Cup last hosted in Winnipeg in 2015. In your eyes, what's special about this year's version?
Well, I think it's amazing the weather that we have. So you can come out and enjoy the Naawi-Oodena Street Festival. This is going to be unbelievable weather in November. And this has just been elevated. You look around here, the activities here, and the amount of energy in here is unbelievable, and it's on the Wednesday night. And then on Saturday as well is the Cheer Extravaganza. That's in the Duckworth Center at the U of W here. So, there's something for everybody.
And finally, for the Bomber fans, still disappointed that their team couldn't crack their 6th straight Grey Cup appearance, how great that would have been to have them here. To those fans, what do you say to them?
We say the same thing. We're disappointed as well. So, next year starts after this Grey Cup, and we're going to figure out a way to get back to the Grey Cup, and every year that's where our goal is to win a championship.
A lot of Green, or Winnipeg's arch rivals, will be in the crowd on Sunday. Do you have a favorite in mind?
No, I just really happy for Manitoba and the city of Winnipeg. It's great for our economy. We're going to let our friends from the West spend a lot of money here this weekend and enjoy CFL football. And the Canadian football is about coming together. And that's what the Grey Cup Festival does every year.
Thanks for joining us, Wade.
Thank you.
That's Wade Miller, President and CEO of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Back to you, Brittany.
All right, thank you. That's CBC's Ian Fraze. I love that we can hear music from outside. Riley just took off to take a little look-see outside the window because lots of people already down here, lots of people wanting to get involved.
Yeah.
And the weather seems to be cooperating.
Couldn't have picked a better week, especially as we head toward the weekend, Brittany. I'm going to start with it's only Wednesday. We'll take a look at that weekend look ahead here for the Grey Cup. Of course, a lot of folks coming downtown for the Santa Claus Parade on Saturday evening, looking at a temperature around 1 degree as that is getting underway. So, it's not quite the Santa Claus mood, but, temperature close to freezing, and Grey Cup getting underway at about 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and looking at temperatures around -1 for that. In between now and then, there is a bit of weather, particularly into northern Manitoba. A few stray flurries into parts of the north along the Hudson Bay coast, thanks to this cold front that drapes all the way back into the territories. For the rest of us, mostly sunny skies to start Thursday. Carbon copy of today as we get through the rest of the day Thursday. But I am watching a system that will push into northern Manitoba as we get Thursday into Friday. The leading edge of this cold front will help elevate temperatures as we get into Friday into the double digits in some cases for southern Manitoba. More on that coming up in your long range. But this is an event that will bring quite a bit of snow to parts of northern Manitoba, particularly the northwest corner of the province and along the Hudson Bay coast, where we're looking at some accumulating snow as we get through the day on Friday. In the south, as this cold front starts to sweep through as we get through the day, this could trigger a few stray showers across the south. So I did put a slim chance of showers in the forecast for southern Manitoba. And as we get into Saturday, temperatures pull back closer to seasonal, and that sets us up for a bit of a stretch of temperatures that are below seasonal or near that seasonal mark into next week. So what this is translating into is an area where we could see even up to 20 plus centimeters of snow for Tuduli Lake, Lynn Lake, along the Hudson Bay coast, 10 to 15 centimeters, certainly not out of the question. So we get under this warm pocket of air as we get into the day on Friday. That's as that warm front pushes through. But as the system exits, we get into a new air mass here, and then we see this big trough starting to develop as we get into next week. And that is going to send temperatures back closer to that seasonal mark. So this warm stretch certainly not lasting as we get into the coming days here. So forecast temperatures first thing in the morning, above seasonal again, still looking at temperatures around -3, -4 into the Parkland, -5 in Brandon, Thompson, -4 first thing in the morning. Trying for 4 degrees tomorrow afternoon. There's that 10-degree high for Friday, Brittany, a bit on the windy side, and then temperatures dip back closer to seasonal once that cold front passes through the weekend.
All right, thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
We have much more to come after the break. Stay with us.
This is Manitoba. And this is Manitoba on your smart TV, because CBC News is now streaming local. Local news and weather on your connected TV or favorite device. CBC News Manitoba, streaming now.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says he doesn't plan on changing his leadership style. His comments come after one of his MPs crossed the floor to the Liberals last week, and another announced they'll resign in the new year. Kate McKenna reports from Ottawa.
At Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's first news conference after 2 surprise caucus departures, he doubled down.
I'm very saddened for the Nova Scotia families on whom Mr. Carney and Mr. D'Entremont are raising the price of groceries and homes.
Last week, Alberta MP Matt Genereux announced plans to resign his seat. And Nova Scotia MP Chris D'Entremont crossed the floor to the Liberals, citing Poilievre's leadership as a reason why. But the Conservative leader says he doesn't plan on changing.
No, my plan is to continue to lead and be the only leader in the country that's fighting for an affordable Canada, where our people who work hard can afford a home and food.
He also accused the media of having a double standard.
It does not live up to its promise of generational investments.
After Liberal MP Nate Erskine-Smith gave the budget a mixed review.
I know you're camped outside his office right now, waiting to get comment from him. I know you've been chasing Mark Carney down hallways.
And he pointed repeatedly to these comments made by D'Entremont while he was still in the Conservative caucus.
We warned that Liberals, their out-of-control spending and massive deficits were irresponsible. But of course they didn't listen. And now, after 6 months under a new Prime Minister who promised financial discipline, Canadians are still waiting. He said he'd be judged by the cost at the grocery store. Well, Mr. Speaker, Canadians are judging him, and they are not impressed.
Whether this will be enough to stop questions about Poilievre's leadership remains an open question.
What Mr. Poilievre's thinking.
This pollster says Poilievre is popular with the Conservative base, but divisive with the Canadian population.
But one of the distinctive features of Mr. Poilievre is just how polarizing he is. There's a lot of Canadians who like him, and there are a lot of Canadians who don't. And it's almost entirely divided by whether you support the Conservative Party or not.
Chris D'Entremont responded to what Poilievre said in a statement, calling his comments spin and claiming it proves his point about Poilievre's leadership. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
Meantime, here in Manitoba, Progressive Conservative MLA Doyle Panook says he's run in his last election. The Turtle Mountain MLA won't seek another term. Panook was first elected in 2014 in a by-election. He says he wants to spend more time with his family. Panook's announcement comes days after the PCs held their annual convention. Newly released documents are raising more questions about Donald Trump's friendship with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The emails written by Epstein referencing the president were released on the same day the U.S. House of Representatives is set to pass a funding bill to get the federal government working again. Katie Nicholson has the details.
The House will be in order.
After a recess that stretched 54 days,
The chair lays before the House a communication.
the House is back in session to pass a measure to end the longest U.S. government shutdown in history. But House Democrats started the day with a bang, releasing 3 private emails from the more than 20,000 the Oversight Committee has obtained from the estate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. All 3 mentioned Donald Trump. Among them, a 2011 email to Epstein's longtime partner, now convicted child sex offender Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein refers to Trump as having spent hours at my house with a sex trafficking victim. And a 2019 email exchange with journalist Michael Wolff in which Epstein wrote that Trump knew about the girls he asked Ghislaine to stop. At the time, Epstein was months away from federal charges of sex trafficking minors. Republicans accused the Democrats of cherry-picking the emails and released a deluge, 20,000 pages from the Epstein estate, all as the White House pushed back on the notion the emails point to impropriety.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach and so was Jeffrey Epstein.
Donald Trump and Epstein had a well-documented friendship that started to sour over a real estate deal in 2004. There's no suggestion Trump was involved in any criminal wrongdoing in the emails, but their release comes just as Adelita Grihova was finally sworn in 7 weeks after she was elected. The Arizona representative tipped the balance on a discharge petition to force a House vote, demanding the Department of Justice release its own Epstein files. Representatives are ready for a fight.
If you know that you are free and clear, then why not say, you know what, release the files?
Even so, there are questions whether any of the 4 House Republicans who supported releasing the files will change their minds after one of them took a meeting with the White House. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
New numbers from Statistics Canada show Canadians are continuing to boycott travel to the U.S. The data shows 1.4 million Canadians made trips to the U.S. and back by car in October. That's a drop of more than 30% from the same month last year. And the number of Canadians making return trips by air south of the border was about 437,000. That's down nearly 24% from a year earlier. Canada's Competition Bureau has been quietly looking into the challenges facing new grocery stores in Halifax. It's studying property controls, which are legal instruments that can block competitors from setting up stores in certain places. Now, some of those controls are in place here in Manitoba as well. And while the investigation focuses on Halifax, it has relevance for the rest of Canada. Shayna Luck reports.
This storefront was once a small Sobeys, used almost daily by families who lived nearby.
It was very handy if you forgot something. You know, you could zip up here and get it.
But in 2009, the store closed and Sobeys sold the land. It placed what's called a restrictive covenant on the property. For 20 years, the building couldn't be used as a grocery store. Neighbors feel the space has gone to waste.
It's discouraging. I think people who live in the back have had issues with garbage.
A restrictive covenant is just one type of property control. Other types are attached to commercial leases, and they stop a landlord from renting to a competitor in the same shopping plaza or within a certain area. The Competition Bureau argues both types are a problem and has demanded more information from the parent companies of Superstore and Sobeys.
It's really hard to keep track of them.
James Baxter studies property law and food systems.
The public, at least, doesn't have a very good view of, where these things might exist within the bounds of a city.
CBC checked property records from major grocery stores in Halifax. 5 Sobeys and 10 Atlantic Superstores had documents related to the lease with a landlord, sometimes banning renting to competitors in meats, fruits, vegetables, and other products, as long as the first store was operating. Sobeys' parent company, Empire, didn't comment for this story, but it objected to the Competition Bureau's investigation and went to court to try to quash it. The case was dismissed. Superstore's parent, Loblaw, said in February it would stop using restrictive covenants and get rid of property controls from its store leases in Halifax. Loblaw also did not respond to an interview request. The Competition Bureau believes more competition leads to lower prices and more innovation, but the Canadian Federation of Independent Grocers doesn't think changing property controls will affect food prices. Still, plenty of shoppers think more options would help them.
There's only 2 of us now. My kids have grown and left. And even for us, I'm spending $500 a month in groceries if I go to the regular store.
How far do you drive to come?
About an hour and 15 minutes. About, without traffic.
And it's worth it?
Oh, by far. It's always worth it.
Oh, I shop all over. You have to, right?
It's not clear how long the Competition Bureau investigation will take. As of October, it said it had drawn no conclusions of wrongdoing. Shayna Luck, CBC News, Halifax.
There's new evidence that privatizing some medical procedures can lead to longer wait times for patients. 2 studies compared surgical data from England and Scotland, 2 countries that moved in opposite directions in the public-private healthcare debate. Christine Burak has the findings and the potential takeaways for Canada.
Just want you to look straight at the lights for me if you can.
2 new academic reports are out, comparing Scotland's
You will see your consultant at every visit.
and England's approaches to reducing wait times for surgeries.
We have, in a way, a natural experiment taking place, with England deciding to pursue privatisation of services and Scotland deciding not to do that.
England began outsourcing hip, knee, and cataract surgeries to private for-profit clinics in the 1980s, while Scotland expanded surgeries in the public system by acquiring a private hospital. Now, 22 years of data suggest 60% of taxpayer-funded cataract surgeries in England are done in for-profit clinics. In Scotland, it's just 2%. Both countries doubled the number of surgeries, and wait times are shorter in Scotland than in England. But the shift negatively affected English hospitals.
What we found was that far from helping the public sector froze as money flowed out of the system into the private hospitals.
The report suggests the private route overall led to longer wait times for all patients, lowered the capacity of hospitals to do certain surgeries, and increased inequality in accessing care.
I guess the question is, can we extrapolate those findings to Canadians?
Surgeons who welcome for-profit clinics say systems need to strike a balance.
I think it's something to keep in mind as we open these centers, that we don't deplete the existing human resources from hospitals where there's good work being done.
Others argue the evidence is clear.
Scotland, in contrast, actually improved wait times across the entire population. So that's a really important lesson for us.
All doctors say quicker access to surgeries is a must. But as provinces spend more taxpayer dollars in for-profit clinics, Scotland and England's experience may offer a glimpse of what's ahead. Christine Burak, CBC News, Toronto.
It's his own personal robin's nest, an ode to a Canadian coffee chain. And this Winnipegger has amassed quite the collection. We'll dive into all the nostalgia after the break. High-profile sexual assault cases have garnered a lot of attention on both sides of the border. For survivors, getting to trial is daunting and often never happens. Now, a federal task force will soon release its investigation into how courts treat these cases and the survivors at the heart of them. But many say they don't need a report to know justice is hard to come by. CBC producer Donna Carrero dives deeper into the issue and a warning: this story may affect those who've experienced sexual violence.
Let's start here. July 2025. 5 former members of Canada's World Junior Hockey team were acquitted of sex assault. A lot of Canadians were surprised. I wasn't one of them. Decades ago, I covered sex assault trials, and rarely did they end up in convictions, which got me to thinking, has anything changed? The answer is no. Check out these numbers from Stats Canada. It's estimated that here in Canada, more than 2,500 people are sexually assaulted every single day. That's more than 900,000 victims a year. But you won't see that reflected in the courts because fewer than 6% of those victims will report the assaults to the police. And of those reports, only about 1/3 will result in charges being laid. And of those charges, just 60% will end up in court. And of those charged who end up in court, fewer than half will actually be convicted. So let me do the math for you. Of those 900,000 victims that we started off with, fewer than 5,000 will have justice in the courts. And one of the biggest challenges, the issue of consent. Which comes as no surprise to survivors like Jewel Pierre-Roselli.
I know myself, and I know who I am, and I'm not a liar. That person sexually assaulted me. That is what happened to me. He did that.
Jewel is talking about the night she was sexually assaulted.
I didn't think I was going to survive that night.
2 years ago, she'd run into a professional acquaintance at a social. He wanted to go to a party with her. She said no. She was drunk. She just wanted to go home. But he didn't drive her home. He took her to a motel and sexually assaulted her.
I had to think, like, do I fight and potentially end up being hurt more than what's going to happen? Or just survive?
As soon as she could, she escaped.
I just cried. I didn't know where I was. What I just experienced, what just happened to me.
From there, she did everything a victim of crime is supposed to do. She went to the hospital for treatment. She made a statement to police. It wasn't enough. 5 months later, she got a phone call from the Crown Attorney.
And she said, based on the evidence that you've submitted, we don't feel it's enough for him to be charged. And then she said, so it's over.
At issue, consent. Jewel couldn't prove that she didn't give consent. Even though she was intoxicated, he could overpower her and she knew it. She was scared for her life.
I didn't say yes. I did what I needed to do to survive.
And that, say advocates, is not the same as consent. Isabel Daniels works with survivors of sexual violence, and she's also a survivor herself.
People do not understand what it's like to be a woman in a situation with a person that can overpower you, with a situation where we have multiple people being discarded like garbage, where we have women that are not making it home because of homicide, rape.
And those who do make it home, they don't usually see justice served.
The perpetrator often has more rights than the victim. You know, they don't have to prove they didn't do that. We have to prove that they did.
With sexual violence cases, these are cases that often happen behind closed doors in private settings, and there's not necessarily other witnesses to the event. So part of the challenge that you have is establishing that standard of proof.
Chantal Boutin is a Crown Attorney here in Winnipeg.
It isn't about that we don't believe you. I can't think of a time when I heard a story from a survivor that I did not believe.
But sometimes believing the victim didn't consent isn't enough, despite the fact the victim is telling the truth.
It just doesn't equate with what is required to satisfy a burden of proof. And that is never a satisfactory answer, for somebody that has experienced intense trauma.
So as it turns out, the Office of the Federal Ombudsman for Victims of Crime also has concerns about how sex assault survivors are treated in the justice system. That's why they spent the last year examining those concerns. They're expected to release a report and recommendations mid-November. Donna Carrero, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Well, it is Grey Cup week, and there are so many outdoor festivities, and boy, oh boy, we got a pretty nice week for this to happen.
I can already hear some of the music setting up on the
loud outside.
lawn behind us over at the U of W. Yeah, I mean, all things considered, we could see temperatures normally this time of the year, highs around -1 is what we should be seeing. So to go into Friday, Saturday with temperatures on Friday close to 10 degrees.
Wow.
Pretty good. Also great if you're a dog walker. Let's have a look at your dog walking forecast. A sunny start again tomorrow, which I think Coda will really, really love. Thank you, Catherine, for sending this picture in. Coda loves the sunshine. So you know what? I will deliver a sunny day for you, just for you, Coda, tomorrow. You can send your pictures, as always, to talkback at cbc.ca. So a morning temperature around -3. Our overnight low should be around -9 for this time of the year. So that's your benchmark on where we're going as we get through the next couple of days here. 4 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Winds still remaining fairly light. I mean, maybe a couple little odd breezes here and there as we get through the next couple of days, but really that's about it. All right, I wanted to give you a look at the setup that they've got going on over at the U of W for the Grey Cup. You can see some of the lights from them setting up the stage there. I saw some food down there as well earlier, so should be a good week for that. Right now in the city, 1 degree, a west wind at 19. Has been lightening up as we've gotten throughout the day today. And that's been the trend that we've seen really across southern Manitoba. 2 in Swan River right now, 3 in Dauphin. We reached my high of 6 in Winnipeg this afternoon, now down to 1 degree. So it just goes to show what happens when the sun goes down and we lose some of that heating, how quickly things start to cool off. -2 in Thompson, Churchill at -3. Your overnight temperatures tonight, again, staying above seasonal for this time of the year. Still, though, some -5s and -6s into the southwest corner of the province. West winds at 5 to 10 kilometers an hour for the southwest. Roblin at -7, -2 to -3 through the Interlake. Mostly clear skies tonight. And same goes into northwestern Ontario. Temperatures closer to -2, -3 as well. Into northern Manitoba, a bit more cloud cover where that frontal boundary kind of sits across northern Manitoba. So -4 in Thompson, -3 in Gillam. Maybe a few scattered flurries yet along the Hudson Bay coast tonight. But windy conditions persisting. Northwest 40 gusting to 60, for example, in Churchill as we get into the day tomorrow even. Start to get some cloud building into northwestern Manitoba, that ahead of that area of low pressure that'll push through as we get through Friday, bringing more of that accumulating snow to places like Lynn Lake, for example. But the south into mainly sunny sky as we get through the day tomorrow. 6s for Roblin and Dauphin, 8 in Brandon, 9 in Melita. Yeah, nothing but sunshine, maybe a couple of passing clouds here and there, but really that's about it as we get into the afternoon. 7 in Portage, 4s and 5s for the Interlake, Brittany, and we're looking at temperatures even warmer as we get into your 7-day. That's coming up.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, a morning cup of Joe is more than a jolt of caffeine for one Winnipegger. It's about precious memories at a Canadian coffee chain. Ronald George Moore has been brewing up nostalgia by collecting memorabilia from Robin's Donuts. Channelie Vidal paid him a visit.
My name is Ronald George Moore, and welcome to the Robin's Nest. I started collecting the coffee cans. I just didn't want to throw them away. I would just keep the box that a dozen donuts would come in. Then I got a thermos, and I think it just kind of steamrolled after that.
A donut's not a donut unless it's Robin's.
There are things around that you would think that I may have stolen, but you got to remember these Robins are closing down, so you're going to find some at like auctions, Kijiji, and simply me just asking. Employees and managers have given me like old hats.
A room in Moore's Winnipeg home is neatly adorned with memorabilia from Robin's Donuts. There's posters, figurines, mugs, and a few unusual items.
This is a Robin's Donuts decanter. This little Robin's Donuts rolling pin. It's incredible. I remember my dad having one of these Robin's mugs attached to, the dash of his station wagon.
Moore's love of Robin's began when he was a kid. He'd go every week after church with his family. For his last birthday, he was presented with a birthday cake that had the Robin's mascot, Robbie Robin, Except the face was replaced with that of Moore when he was 10 years old.
My kids did that for my birthday, and my fiance has a lot of fun with it.
It was Moore's fiancée that gifted him his greatest Robins treasure, a neon sign with the lights broken off.
It used to say muffins and more. That's what I love about Robins. It just reminds me of growing up in this city and just friends and family.
There's only a handful of Robins left in Manitoba, in Winnipeg, Gimli, and the Pas. The franchise started 50 years ago in Thunder Bay, and Moore was there to celebrate that milestone.
Shanley Vidal, CBC News, Winnipeg.
This is the icicle kick that helped win Canada's Premier League final. Plus, Riley is back with the last check on our forecast and more on that kick straight ahead.
So if you missed the Aurora borealis, the northern lights last night, I have a treat for you. So just stick around for for a few more seconds. We'll get through your 7-day forecast first. 4 degrees in Winnipeg through the afternoon tomorrow, all the way up to 10 once that warm front pushes through into Friday. Could trigger a few showers as the cold front in behind that sweeps through overnight into Saturday morning. Does pull our temperatures back by the time we get to the Santa Claus parade on Saturday and then to the Grey Cup on Sunday. High of 0 in Winnipeg, but we keep mostly sunny skies really right through the weekend. We'll get some cloud building in, a slim chance of showers into Tuesday. Could maybe be a slim chance of flurries into early Wednesday with that temperature dropping. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way for this one. Judy sent this amazing video in from near St. Francis Xavier of the Northern Lights last night. Isn't that just something?
What I saw looked nothing like that.
Yeah, you know, I drove...
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Judy. Yeah, exactly. I drove out to the Arm of Rosser last night. I got out of the city in the dark, and it was just gorgeous.
It's what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, it's being dubbed the icicle kick, the tying goal scored by David Rodriguez during the CPL final. Nothing, Brittany, short of spectacular.
And Riley, what's more impressive? It was the Ottawa midfield's first time playing soccer in the snow. So CBC caught up with them to find out what it takes to execute a bicycle kick in the blizzard.
Wants to claim in the air. Bicycle! Oh my God!
I think I just scored the greatest goal of my career, and I'm never gonna forget this day. And I just saw the ball in the air, and I was like, I have to try it, and it went in. Just my first time playing snow. A lot of people stay in the stadium with the snow and all the cold. It was just a happy moment for me to score a goal and hear the whole stadium screaming. Couldn't really feel much when I landed because all the snow. It was just fun. We were able to win 2-1 on the final at home with over 10,000 people. It was good to prove everyone that Canada has a really good soccer league. It's not just about hockey or any other sport. Soccer is growing, and we were just happy to show everyone. I don't think no one's gonna forget this final. It was just amazing.
The team and the fans going crazy. I think what might be almost as impressive is just how much snow they actually had to get off the field so they could play.
Happy and cold at the same time.
Thankfully, none of that for the Grey Cup here this week.
Not this time.
Have a wonderful night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Send me your Aurora pics.
I know, mine just did